two things in this life that I know to be true. Everyone poops and everyone dies. But did you know that your poop can predict when you're going to die? Ooh, I am the strangest fortune teller you will ever meet. So I am a poop expert, or as my colleagues plead with me to describe it, a microbiome scientist. So the microbiome are all the microorganisms that live on and in us, and they are very important for your health. And the gut microbiome is the biggest of all of them, and we study that by looking at your poop. So how does this make me a crappy clairvoyant? A medium of questionable medium? Prophet of the porcelain? Well, it's because the secret to longevity might be in your microbiome. All right, so what is longevity? So longevity is, it means lasting a long time. I didn't say a good time, but I think some of us can agree that for certain things, lasting a good time does, or a long time does increase the likelihood of a good time. That one felt maybe a little personal for some people. In the world of health, longevity is about your lifespan, how long you're living. And so average global lifespan right now is 73 years old. It's 84.5 years if you live in Japan, which you don't. But some really smart people realized there were pockets in the world where people were living much longer than everybody else, to over 100 years old. And they earned themselves the title of centenarian. No, not half horse, half man. That's a centaur. Centenarians. But they are kind of mythical creatures in and of themselves. And so these areas where people were living much longer, they called them blue zones. And do you know why they called them blue zones? Was it because they lived near water, or they were really well hydrated, or they spent time outside under the blue sky? No. It's because the highlighter that they used on the map was blue. Which means we were this close to pink glittery jelly roll zones and we missed the opportunity. So, this is science, right? So I do need to be very accurate. I do have to confess, you might have heard blue zones came under some scrutiny, because it turns out they kind of also align with pension scam zones. And it turns out it is way easier to live to be 100 when you're actually 40 and living off of grandma's stolen money. But it was kind of thanks to the concept of blue zones that it ushered in this whole era of longevity research. Basically learning, researching how do we not only live longer, increase our lifespan, but also our health span. So a long time and a good time. And it's great that we're doing this research because I am pretty sure that if you physically outlive your cognitive ability, they do make you become a U.S. politician. Too many to name. It's a bipartisan thing, at least. So far we've covered what longevity is, long life, long health, and what centenarians are, people who live to be over 100. What does this have to do with poop? Everything! Your microbiome is one of the most important factors for your health. Okay, so as a gut microbiome expert, people are always asking me, Taylor, how do I improve my gut health? And I'm like, okay, you need to promote your microbiome diversity. And they go, great, how do I do that? And I say, all right, you're never going to believe this. Get ready. It's eat plants. Shock. Oh, yes, I know. But I'm a good doctor, so I get a little bit more specific, and I say, you actually need to eat specifically 30 different plants every single week. Yeah, and people don't like when I say that. They're like, isn't there just a supplement that I can take? I'm like, Oh my God, I'm so sorry. You're absolutely right. There is one. You can get it at your local grocery store, over the counter. Yeah, just ask for broccoli. You guys are smart. You got it right away. So there was actually a very fascinating study where people looked at hundreds of metrics to see how they influenced your microbiome diversity. So they looked at the food you eat, your lifestyle, the activities you do, and they were able to correlate it with what percentage it either increased your microbiome diversity or decreased it. And you're welcome, because I did the math. And it turns out you can eat as many hot dogs as you want, as long. You also have to have a raw vegetable fish wine smoothie. Wow, right away. Unless you get diarrhea, which does seem kind of likely, because that's really bad for your microbiome. So you guys, I think you just have to eat the plants. Sorry. So why diversity? So you eat a lot of different good plant foods that feeds all these different good bacteria in your gut, and that's important because your bacteria are doing things like getting nutrients from your food, regulating your immune system, and the more diversity you have, the more redundancy, the more resiliency. It's very important. And if you don't have good diversity, and those microbes disappear, it leaves room for inflammatory bad actors to come in. And you guys, I tried very hard to think of an example where like inflammatory bad actors were related to decreased diversity, and I just couldn't think of any. I did remember, I meant to tell you this before that study where they looked at all the things that like helped your microbiome diversity. You know, one thing that wasn't on that list? Ice. Very, very clear. Diversity is very good for your gut health and just for life in general. All right, so what happens when you get older? Someone's paid attention. It's not good. So as you get older, your microbiome diversity just starts to go down naturally, and it leaves room for these inflammatory actors to come in, and the culmination of this is that your immune system just stops working so well. And this leads to these two things called immunosenescence and inflammation. Don't panic. I'm going to define them for you. I do realize that kind of sounds like the love child of a Evanescence song and Imagine Dragons. So, immunosenescence is a sleeping immune system. Doesn't respond to infections, isn't really going to mount a response to a vaccine. It's sort of like if your immune system was not woken up inside, and it can't save you from the nothingness your immune system has become. Inflammation is the inflammation of aging. Chronic inflammation, just constantly on. This is like when you are woken up inside, feel it in your bones, enough to make your system blow. Welcome to your old age. This is a karaoke session for science. It's actually a great idea. So basically what's happening with your immune system is it's kind of like you took Adderall to scroll on your phone. Highly active, extremely ineffective. All right, so little check-in. So far, we've talked about some people live much longer than other people. Your microbiome is very important for your health. And as you get older, your microbiome gets worse, and so does your health. So maybe you start to put the pattern together and realize that I can now tell you, you're ready to hear how I can predict your death through your poop. So I do need a volunteer from the audience. You're lucky I can't see y'all up there because I saw a couple people's hands go up. Freaky, huh? No, so studying the microbiome of those mythical creatures, the centenarians. And so in order to do that, we had to kidnap a lot of people's grandmas and grandpas. So we lured them in with the promise of bingo and World War I documentaries. Trapped them in our lab, and we're studying them right now. Just kidding, we just took their food. And turns out their microbiomes are different. People who are living to be over 100 than people who are not. So overall, their immune systems are, in fact, woken up inside, but also not enough to make their systems blow. It's like, rock on, Grandma. Good job. And they specifically found 2 findings looking at the centenarian microbiome that was related to how long people live. So these 2 findings that were related to how long you live are: 1, people who lived longer had a decreasing amount of this bacteria called Bacteroides, and 2, they had increasing gut uniqueness, so their microbiomes were distinct from everybody else's. And just by looking at those 2 factors in the microbiome, they were able to predict who would die in the next 4 years. I know, right? So low gut uniqueness was associated with higher risk of death. They do say, be yourself because everyone else is taken. I say be yourself because otherwise you are going to get taken by the Grim Reaper. And the most amazing thing was that Bacteroides, in people who maintained a high level where it didn't start going down, that was 100% associated with death in 4 years. 100%! I know you guys are all wondering where you get your microbiome tested right now, right? But here's the thing, guys. I kind of lied to you. I'm sorry, that's like the one rule of science, right? We have to tell the truth. I did tell the truth. They did that study in people who were over 80. So I can't actually predict most of your microbiome, your death of your microbiome, unless we got any centenarian baddies in the house. Anybody over 100? So why did I tell you all this? Because where do you think your microbiome at 80 is going to come from? Because if you got shitty shit now, you're going to have shitty shit later. That's just science. That's science for you. So I do need you to eat your plants, promote diversity, and I need you to come talk to me after the show because I'm selling Bergoli supplements.